Oh my gosh, please, somebody make it stop. Ryan Garcia says, per Floyd Mayweather, that the fight will never happen between him and Gervonta Davis. I'll be back to give you guys my thoughts on this situation. Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. Make sure y'all subscribe. We're going to talk about it.
I do beat Davis. I do. But he's not going to fight anybody outside of Mayweather Promotions, is what Floyd said. So you guys got to stop commenting that Gervonta is just never going to fight. I don't think anybody that you really want him to fight. So let's just kill that right now. Floyd gave that away. Doesn't want to fight. Never did want to fight anybody tough, but it's just not in his nature, I guess.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Somebody please make it stop. Hit the like button. It goes a long way with you guys. Click on the likes. Support the channel. Appreciate y'all. You guys seen that clip at the beginning from Ryan Garcia. He says that per Floyd Mayweather, he will never get the Tank fight because Tank is scared, won't fight nobody tough, yada, yada, yada. In my honest opinion, this is a bad look for Mr. Ryan Garcia. Because if you guys, unless you live on a rock, you'll know that Ryan Garcia, he was scheduled to have a fight, which should have been a challenge, and that was against Javier Fortuna. And Ryan Garcia, he's since deleted the post, but Ryan Garcia pulled out of the fight literally a week later. Now, before Tank's name, earlier this year, Ryan Garcia posted this, which for whatever reason, maybe based on the amount of likes, got a lot of likes. It was like over 1 million. So that's maybe why he didn't want to delete it. But he lied to the public and said he was fighting against Manny Pacquiao. That's what he said. He said he has a fight with Manny Pacquiao. And as a result, he can't believe it. He's fighting a legend, this, that, and the third. Now, Ryan Garcia is saying that Tank is the one that doesn't want to fight no one tough. So let me get this straight. Ryan Garcia told everybody that would listen that he was going to knock Tank out in 2 rounds. Said this to TMZ. He said this to virtually, like I said, anybody who would listen, anybody who was paying attention. These are the things that Ryan Garcia had mentioned. He wanted the Tank fight, 2 rounds. And it would be over. That's what Ryan told everyone. Shortly after that, guess what? Like literally a week or 2 later, he said, hey guys, screw the Tank fight. We're fighting Pacquiao. Exhibit A, like I showed you. So, needless to say, in case you live under a rock, you'll notice that fight didn't happen either. Tank and Pacquiao, Ryan Garcia and Pacquiao didn't happen as well. So Ryan has been in no man's land from the beginning, and this is what he's saying. I'll listen to it with you and give my thoughts, but we'll listen to it again. Roll the clip.
I do beat Davis. I do. But he's not going to fight anybody outside of Mayweather Promotions, is what Floyd said. So you guys got to.
So he says, I do beat Davis. I do, but the fight's not going to happen. So you don't beat him because you just said the fight won't happen.
I do beat Davis. I do. But he's not going to fight anybody outside of Mayweather Promotions, is what Floyd said. So you guys got to stop commenting that Gervonta is just never going to fight. I don't think anybody that you really want him to fight.
So the irony in Ryan Garcia saying that Gervonta Davis, who just did a great live gate in Atlanta with Mario Barrios, had a firefight guy who's like 5'11" and moving up to welterweight. So a big, strong, coming off like maybe 2-3 knockouts. This is who Tank is fighting. And he might fight Rolly, who has a history with Ryan Garcia, if you ever seen their sparring. But let Ryan Garcia tell it. Tank don't want to take tough fights. Tank was also, before that, he was in a great fight with Leo Santa Cruz, who was a multi-division champion and a great guy and ambassador for boxing, with a lot of volume punching, a ton of heart, etc. So to me, this looks bad for Mr. Ryan Garcia, because he's steadily telling you that, hey, the guy that doesn't want to fight anybody is the guy who's fighting. Tyson Fury and now Ryan Garcia. You see, when people have the complexion for the protection, they could just say whatever regardless of if it makes sense. I'm going to repeat that. You're telling me the guy who's taking on tough fights and actively fighting, he's the one that doesn't want to challenge himself, and you pulled out of a fight. And here's the other kicker. Ryan Garcia pulled out of a fight because mentally he had too much on his plate. He had anxiety. I told you guys, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. The moment you use mental health awareness in a brutal sport that punches could equal life or death, and you use that to pull out of a fight with Javier Fortuna, a dangerous foe, leave it up to Joseph Jojo Diaz, then you have, in effect, removed all trash talking rights, because those two worlds cannot be synonymous. Those two worlds, it's just like in the hip hop world. You can't be a gangster and a snitch. You know, it just doesn't look right. People, you know, some people might be okay with it in this new era, but the real gangsters, the real G's, they're not going to look at you. You're like, you a snitch. You working with 12. You working with them boys. So they're not going to look at you the same. The real streets ain't going to look at you the same. This is similar. The moment he's going back, like trying to trash talk Tank Davis, and you were the one that said you would knock him out, and then you said, I got bigger fish to fry with Pacquiao, neither of which happened, right? And now you're saying Tank don't want to take tough fights, but you're the one that pulled out with mental health. I mean, it just, you can't make this stuff up.
You guys got to stop commenting that Gervonta is just never going to fight. I don't think anybody that you really want him to fight. So let's just kill that right now. Floyd gave that away. Doesn't want to fight. Never did want to fight anybody tough, but it's just not in his nature, I guess.
The other issue is at one point, things had escalated so crazily that they were going to meet up and spar each other. And I think it was supposed to take place in LA. It was supposed to take place in LA. And Ryan Garcia's team, they're the ones that said nope and pulled the plug and made sure the fight wouldn't happen. The sparring fight. Not even, because they were just going to link up at the gym and record it. And Eric Gomez said, no, that won't be happening. And Ryan's with Golden Boy. Tank confirmed this in an interview. He had a yellow sweater on, I believe. My memory is crazy. I don't forget these things. Now, this is also, speaking of not forgetting, June 30th. This was from Leonard Ellerby. So well before this new stream or whatever that was from Ryan Garcia, this is what Leonard Ellerby said. For the record, we being Mayweather Promotions, tried to make Ryan Garcia fight back in March with Golden Boy. And they told me that they were exploring other options and he would be fighting soon. Fast forward to the future, he pulled out of a fight with mental anxiety and mental health struggles, and this is his latest tweet. Hey, fight date possibly coming soon. So September 15th, he says fight date possibly coming soon. We still don't know. Somebody says, I don't believe you. First comment I can see says, I don't believe you. Ryan, people aren't believing. He talked all the talk. They're not believing it. So let's put this in perspective. September 15th, he says he has a fight date possibly coming soon. Previous to that, in June 30th of this year, so predates any of these Instagram lives that he's saying Tank don't want to fight him and stuff like that, says, for the record, we tried to make the Ryan Garcia fight, yada, 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 with Golden Boy. They said he would be fighting soon. So where is his fight? How come Ryan Garcia still doesn't have a fight? I mean, it's looking extremely bad for Ryan Garcia. And then on top of that, to try to trash talk, that's just OD. He's trash talking Tank. Tank is doing numbers. He has 17,000 people in Atlanta again. So it looks bad because Ryan did this same similar move when Devin Haney, he told him to fight so in top 10. Devin Haney did that, fought Jorge Linares and schooled him and beat him pretty much all the rounds. He did get buzzed in like a 10-second closing of a round, you know, got lazy on defense, got caught, stayed upright, stumbled a little bit to his corner. And guess what? Ryan Garcia felt the need to chime in, and he felt the need to say, oh, sorry, Dev. If that was me, I would have KO'd you. I would have knocked you out. I would have But Ryan is saying all this coulda, shoulda, woulda stuff, and it's crazy because he's saying it from the sidelines. Tank is fighting. I can show you that. He's fighting. Look, he's on PJs. Ryan is just talking. This can't be where boxing is headed. This can't be. So to me, I think Ryan has completely lost the privilege. He could fight, continue to fight, and try to entertain and put on big fights, but he has completely lost the privilege and the luxury of really being able to mention Gervonta Davis's name. But beyond that, he has lost the privilege and right and the luxury to trash talk. Again, you're from Victorville and you pulled out of your fight saying that you had too much on your plate and you were struggling with that, so you couldn't fight a tough fight with Javier Fortuna. So how hypocritical is that for Ryan to now be saying Tank don't want to take tough fights? Tank is fighting Barrios, who has a version of the belt and was a champion at 140 and was way bigger than him. You know what I mean? And he's about to fight possibly Rolly, who roughed up Ryan Garcia in sparring, according to the latest rumors. So you guys can say whatever you want. You know this doesn't make sense. You know it looks bad. And you know I'm the greatest when it comes to this boxing talk. Subscribe. Do yourself a favor. This is your one-stop shop for all your boxing needs. Deuces. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TUBEBUDDY. I've used TUBEBUDDY for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TUBEBUDDY is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TUBEBUDDY and level up your channel faster.